Welcome back, English learners, to English Talking Today. I'm Emily.
And I'm Stefan. And today, we've got a fantastic topic that I think is on a lot of people's minds. How to significantly improve your English listening skills in just 3 months.
That's right, Stefan. It's a bold claim, but we truly believe it's achievable with the right strategies and dedication. We hear from so many of you who feel stuck with your listening, even if your reading and speaking are improving.
Absolutely. It's a common bottleneck. You can read a complex article, you can even hold a basic conversation, but then you put on a movie or try to understand a native speaker in a fast-paced conversation, and it's like, what just happened?
Exactly. It feels like everyone else is speaking at warp speed, and your brain just can't keep up. So, today we're going to break down a 3-month plan that's actionable, realistic, and hopefully very motivating for all of you.
Let's dive right in. So, month 1, the foundation. What's our main goal here, Emily?
In month 1, our goal is to build a solid, consistent habit of exposure and to start tuning your ear to the rhythms and sounds of English. We're not aiming for perfection yet. We're aiming for familiarity and consistency.
That's key, consistency over intensity, especially at the beginning. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to listen to incredibly complex material too early, and then getting discouraged.
Precisely. So, our first strategy for month 1 is controlled immersion with familiar topics. This means choosing audio and video content where you already have some background knowledge or interest. Think about things you enjoy in your native language.
Great point. If you love cooking shows in Khmer or French, find an English cooking show. If you're into gaming, find English gaming commentary. The familiarity of the topic will help bridge the gap when the language itself is still challenging.
Exactly. And focus on content that is slightly above your current comprehension level, but not overwhelmingly so. If you understand 50 to 60% without subtitles, that's a good starting point. You want to be challenged, but not drowned.
Definitely. Visuals are like training wheels for your listening. They give your brain extra clues, which reduces the cognitive load of just trying to decode sounds.
For month 1, I'd suggest starting with podcasts designed for English learners, YouTube channels with clear speaking, or even short documentaries with visual support. The visuals are a huge help because they provide context.
Oh, this is a game changer. It helps you connect the sounds you're hearing with the words you're reading. You'll start to notice how words blend together, how intonation works, and even how some words are reduced or sound different than you expect.
And here's a crucial technique for month 1, active listening with transcripts. Try to find content that offers transcripts. Listen once without the transcript, just trying to get the gist. Then, listen a second time, following along with the transcript.
How much time should people dedicate to this in month 1?
Absolutely. And after that, listen a third time without the transcript and see how much more you understand. This cycle of listen, read, listen is incredibly powerful for cementing those connections.
Agreed. Short, regular bursts are more effective for brain training. It's like building muscle. You need consistent effort.
I'd say aim for at least 30 minutes to an hour of focused listening every single day. Consistency is more important than marathon sessions. Better to do 30 minutes daily than 3 hours once a week.
Perfect. Now let's move into month 2. Building fluency and speed. By now, you've built some consistency. Your ear is starting to get used to English sounds. What's next?
So, to recap month 1, controlled immersion with familiar topics and active listening with transcripts, aiming for 30 to 60 minutes daily.
This is where it gets exciting.
In month 2, we want to gradually increase the difficulty and the pace. We're going to start weaning ourselves off the heavy reliance on transcripts and introduce more authentic, native-level content.
So if you're a fan of, say, a particular Netflix series, maybe rewatch a few episodes in English, but this time, try to watch without subtitles first.
It really is. Our first strategy here is gradual transition to authentic content. Start exploring content created for native speakers, but still within your interest areas. Think about news podcasts, YouTube channels that aren't specifically for learners, or even short episodes of TV shows you've already seen in your native language.
And what about the active listening approach from month 1? Does that still apply?
Exactly. Or with English subtitles, if that's too big a jump. The key is to start reducing the support.
So, before you listen, you might set a goal. Like, I'm going to listen to this news segment and try to identify the main event, who the key players are, and what the outcome was.
It evolves. Now, we introduce focused listening for key information. Instead of trying to understand every single word, which can be exhausting and demotivating, we're training ourselves to pick out the main ideas, the speaker's mood, and specific details.
And this is where learning about connected speech becomes really important. What is connected speech, Emily?
Precisely. This teaches your brain to filter and prioritize information, which is what native speakers do naturally. We don't consciously process every single word. We're looking for meaning.
It's why sometimes you know all the individual words, but when they're spoken together, it sounds like one long, unintelligible word.
Right? So, in month 2, pay conscious attention to these phenomena. When you do use transcripts, highlight or note down examples of connected speech you hear. There are also fantastic YouTube channels and resources dedicated to teaching connected speech.
So, for example, what are you doing? Often sounds like, what you doing? Or, I don't know, becomes, I dunno.
Exactly. The more you expose yourself to it and actively notice it, the more your brain will begin to recognize these patterns automatically.
How much listening time now?
I'd say maintain that 30 to 60 minutes daily, but try to push towards the upper end if you can. And crucially, mix it up. Don't just stick to one type of content. Vary your sources to get exposed to different accents, speaking speeds, and vocabulary.
Excellent. So, month 2 is about gradual transition to authentic content, focused listening for key information, and actively noticing connected speech.
Spot on. And now, for the final push, month 3, mastering nuance and real-world application. This is where everything starts to click.
This is where we go from understanding to truly comprehending.
Exactly. Our first strategy for month 3 is immersion with minimal support. This means diving into content with no subtitles or only using them as a last resort. Watch movies, TV shows, listen to podcasts, and even try listening to English radio or audiobooks.
This is where the real growth happens. You're forcing your brain to process everything without a safety net, which is how it works in real-life conversations.
Yes. And don't be afraid to rewind if you miss something important, but try not to hit pause too often. Try to train your brain to keep up with the flow.
And a really important technique for month 3 is listening for intonation and stress. This is how you pick up on sarcasm, emotion, and emphasis.
Absolutely. It's not just what people say, but how they say it. A simple phrase like, "Oh really?" can mean vastly different things depending on the intonation.
A flat, "Oh really?" might be genuine interest, but a sarcastic, drawn-out, "Oh really?" clearly conveys disbelief.
Precisely. In month 3, start actively noticing this. Pay attention to which words speakers emphasize, where their voice goes up or down, and how that impacts the meaning. It adds so much depth to your comprehension.
And another key strategy for month 3, to bring it all together, is shadowing and mimicry. What is shadowing?
Shadowing is where you listen to a short piece of audio, maybe a sentence or two, and then immediately try to repeat it, mimicking the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible.
So, you're essentially becoming an echo.
Exactly. It trains your mouth and your ear simultaneously. It helps you internalize those connected speech patterns and intonation because you're physically producing them.
This is fantastic for both listening and speaking, because it helps you bridge the gap between what you hear and what you can produce yourself.
You can do this with short clips from podcasts, news reports, or even just sentences from a YouTube video. Start with very short segments, and as you get more comfortable, you can try shadowing longer phrases.
And how much listening now?
Now, we're aiming for a solid hour or more daily. And importantly, incorporate all the strategies we've discussed. Use authentic content, listen for key information, pay attention to connected speech, intonation, and actively practice shadowing.
Month 1. The foundation. Build consistent exposure with familiar, slightly above level content, and use active listening with transcripts.
We've covered a lot, Stefan. To summarize this 3-month journey,
don't be afraid of not understanding everything. Asterisk, that's part of the process. Your brain needs to get comfortable with ambiguity.
Month 2, building fluency and speed. Gradually transition to authentic content. Focus on listening for key information and pay conscious attention to connected speech.
Don't compare your progress to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your own growth.
Month 3, mastering nuance and real-world application. Immerse yourself with minimal support. Listen for intonation and stress, and actively practice shadowing and mimicry.
It truly does. It enhances your speaking, your confidence, and your overall ability to connect with people.
And throughout all of this, remember a few key principles. Patience is crucial. You won't go from 0 to perfect in 3 months, but you will see massive improvement if you stick with it.
Yes, please let us know in the comments below if you're going to try this plan, and what content you're choosing to listen to. We love to hear from you.
Make it enjoyable. If you hate what you're listening to, you won't stick with it. Find topics and content that genuinely interest you.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Keep listening, keep learning.
Absolutely. And remember, the goal isn't just to understand English. It's to be able to participate fully in the English-speaking world. Better listening opens up so many doors. We really hope this 3-month plan gives you a clear roadmap to dramatically improve your English listening skills. We're excited to hear about your progress. And if you found this episode helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to English Talking Today, and share it with anyone who's struggling with their English listening. We'll see you next time on English Talking Today.